Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. We added 2 new subscribers to the channel today, and I just want to say that you all are amazing. It seems like we're growing now every day, and I really want to keep that up. So, no, I've been saying this every day for the past few days, but thank you so much everybody who's subscribing here. I really think that we're getting a good jump, and I'm just really pleased with the rapid growth of this channel of late, and I think we can get up to 100 honestly before this year's out if we kind of if things keep progressing the way they are. So really happy about that. Thanks all subscribers. It's just great the way things have been going with that. Well, anyway, the Giants lost to the Mets today, 4-1, and Anthony DeSclafani just seemed to have a real hard time keeping the ball off the hitter's sweet spot today. He allowed 3 solo home runs in 3 innings of work. Just couldn't keep them from hitting the ball deep. And honestly, when DeSclafani first came back from being injured for most of last year and really worked his way through spring training and then made some good starts at the beginning of this season, honestly, I think that was just a lot in comparison with what we could really expect from a guy who'd just come off of season-ending ankle surgery and missed several months. His rebound from that and just the work that he put in spring training, trying to get his velocity back and all the stuff he works with on his pitches, that was great. And he put some good work in this year, but of late he has struggled a bit, and we're not seeing exactly. We're seeing a little bit of a decline, but still, he's been really good for what we maybe could have necessarily expected from a guy returning from ankle surgery. So, I mean, this game, it just wasn't a good start, and I think that it does point to, the fact that the Giants' pitching is maybe a roster need that's a little bit incomplete right now. And again, DeSclafani, his work this year has been great based on just what he's coming back from and everything, but it is still kind of clear that help for the starting rotation would still be good at this point. After DeSclafani left, Sharmanaya and Jacob Junis pitched the rest of the game and weren't bad at all, but Giants didn't come back. And this week has been kind of a slow one in terms of getting the bat on the ball for the Giants. Game 1 against the Blue Jays, they won by 3 runs, and I really thought that was just the start of another really hot week with very few bumps in the road, but it didn't turn out to be that way. And this, I think, is the 3rd game this week that the Giants have lost without scoring more than 1 run. They got one today on the double play ground ball hit by Tyro Estrada. It scored J.D. Davis, but other than that, the Giants weren't able to get anything going with the bat. So that's been something that has had a level of unpredictability to it for the Giants this year. They've had the ability to be hot with the bats and done it even in the month of April, which was a bad one for them. They had their share of games where they scored a ton of runs, like at least 9 or 10 in the game. They had their share of those games, but it just overall their performance was a losing record in April, and then they improved in May and further improved in June. But it doesn't seem that the Giants. It doesn't seem so far this year that the Giants' ability to get hot in, say, one week and score a lot of runs, it doesn't seem that gives them any insurance as far as the ability to do that in the next. And that's kind of something that, I mean, the Giants got 5 runs home last night, but that's kind of just hard to predict when they're going to have trouble getting down the ball or getting down the ball at the right time, and when they're going to have that going, when they're going to have that just going well for everybody. But I mean, every team to some degree kind of has ups and downs, and I would still draw out a lot from what we saw from the Giants over the past couple of weeks, in particular that 10-game winning streak. It's just that a thing like that, you can't really expect it to be sustainable over a long period of time. And I mean, their 10-game winning streak, I think that kind of put us all just like on the edge of our seats with thinking the Giants had put all their problems behind them for the year and that it was just going to be smooth sailing all the way. But even though this game, this was definitely a disappointment here against the Mets, and thankfully the Dodgers lost. The Diamondbacks won, that's a bummer given the current circumstances. But just kind of looking at the overall picture here, the Giants, because like I said, their hot streak, their 10-game winning streak, and then their victory in 2 games out of 3 over the Diamondbacks, that probably kind of got us just, and it was all very exciting, and I think it was the turning point. I definitely, don't get me wrong here, I definitely think that the last couple of weeks were the turning point for the Giants this season. It's really what brought them from, just put the finishing touch on bringing them from out of playoff contention to being a serious National League West Division title contender. And then, of course, to avoid having to play that wild card series, they have to be the number 1 or number 2, and that's going to be another thing. But as far as winning the division, they're in a position to do that. So it was a turning point for the Giants, and I think it might be the hinge on which they turn their whole season around, and it was just maybe the key moment for them. But I think one of the things about it is it maybe got us filled with expectations that are maybe a little bit unrealistic, or at least maybe kind of exaggerated in what they should have been. Because, I mean, just when all this is combined with that 3-game sweep of the Dodgers, which was amazing, it was just, it's definitely going to go down as a highlight of the season for sure. And then just they take 3 out of 4 against the Padres after that, and then 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. These are things we're going to remember all season. I think in particular that sweep of the Dodgers. But in all of that, there are some kind of just normal, rational realities to keep into play here. And one of those is that it could still, we can't lose patience if this does have to be kind of a gradual process. So that definitely, it put us on the edge of our seats, and I'm disappointed about the Giants this week, that it was a little bit of a little bit of maybe a setback there. But you got to remember that hot streaks in baseball sometimes aren't sustainable over a long run, and that it's definitely, I think, something we need to be prepared for, that this battle is going to be a close one. And I think that the way we really need to look at this is just, we be patient here, and we really wait for the process to play itself out. Because it may be more of a gradual thing than we were maybe feeling after we were just in the high of all highs after the Giants, their last couple of weeks and their 10-game winning streak and all that. Might be more of a process than our feelings about it back then would have really allowed us to believe. And I'd say that in particular in relation to today, after the Giants lost against the Mets, we really have to be patient here because it's going to happen. They're going to have some of these days, and I still think that they're able to slowly gain on the Diamondbacks in first place and push the Dodgers out of the way as well. It's very critical for them that they win the final game of this series against the Mets. I mean, I think the ideal thing for them is just that they're taking series after series, and it's really in a series like this that, you know, you're just kind of paying attention. Do they get 2 out of 3 or do they lose 2 out of 3? So that's why I'm really saying that tomorrow it's a big game for the Giants, this third game of the series, and I think it would just be a real benefit if they could take game 3, and then from there it's going to be it may be a more gradual process than maybe, and I'm just saying be prepared for that, because Giants have the capacity, I think, to get to the top of this division, but they're playing some tough opponents here, and it's going to be some hard work, but they just need to remain consistent and not have any major issues with anyone they're counting on. Look for every opportunity to improve their roster, and just keep playing and keep scoring runs, keep going with all of that intensity. So that's really where the Giants stand, and let's just hope that they win tomorrow. It'll definitely be a big game, but I'd say they're in good position to take this series against the Mets, and everything just has to go right. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.